Hello once again. So today's video is going to be about tile roofing, and let's start with the lesson. So what is tile roofing? So it is a roofing system that consists of overlapping roof tiles securely attached to a substrate or a roof deck on a sloped roof. They are made of local, natural, and recycled materials such as clay, ceramic, concrete, and slate tiles. They're also known for being fire resistant, they're durable, and they also require little maintenance. In addition, some of these tile roofings can weigh up to 800 to 1,000 pounds per square foot, and this will require for stronger framings in order to support the load of the tiles. Um, um, each tile is secured by a roof deck, and that is then kneaded into the deck. They're also known for being one of the most beautiful and popular roof systems, and are basically more used into residential and small buildings. Um, in addition to this, some tile roofings, because there's many tile roofings, can also last to 100 years or longer, depending on its way of maintenance and the one that was being selected for the construction of the roof. In addition to this, tile roofing is a very specified field of roofing installation in which requires an experienced contractor who knows how to install roofs of many different shapes and materials, since this this roofing systems consist of many different tiles. Let's continue to the different types of roof tiles. So we could start off with the first one, which is clay tiles. Clay tiles are one of the oldest type of roofing materials. They offer a variation of colors and color alternations. It comes in many shapes and can be installed differently. So one of the way it can be installed is by the Mission or Spanish tiles, in which they are trapped in a semicircular tiles lake complex side sloped over a flattened flake. The tapper allows the tiles to meet into the overlapping tiles, and the minimum required slope is a 4 to 12, and with a minimal width of 10 inches and a longitude of 19 inches. In addition, there's also different kind of installation, also known as a S-shape cross-section installation, in which they are laid the way in which they are laid in a S-shaped cross-sectional. So the downturn of the overlaps. So the downturn of one overlaps the upturn of the next in the same course. And there's also another one called regular roofing tiles, in which there's a groove along one edge that fits over a flange in the next tile in the same course, and its recommended slope is 3 to 12, with its recommended wide of 9 inches and its longitude recommendation of 12 inches. So this would be basically what I was talking about the trapped emission style, in which we have a chapter basically like basically that comes like this, and then another one that's a chapter at the bottom. So this would be a structure here, and how the chapter at the top overlaps the studs, and then the bottom trapper basically goes underneath, and it's you can see basically like the style in which many people would basically install in like small residential areas. Let's move on to concrete tiles. So this is another tile roofing system, which is also known as cement roof tilings. Not cement. Concrete tiles are basically mixed of Portland cement, sand, water, and sometimes different colors. They are factory molded into a wide variety of shapes and textures to stimulate wall shrinkage and clay tiles or slate tiles. They're good because they provide a greater protection against high winds, hail, and cold climates, and they're also less expensive compared to clay and slate. Um, Also, there's a fact that due to the installation method, concrete tile roofings can help reduce energy costs, and which allows air to circulate under and through the tiles, reducing the heat transfer into the Arctic. So when you're comparing the clay and the concrete roof tiling, clay tilings last longer than concrete. However, concrete is less expensive than clay. Moving on, I have a small image on what a clay roofing system will look and how a concrete roofing system will look. As you will see in this situation, I think they use the Spanish mission. And yeah, I think they use that one. And this will be basically the rectangle, I think, installation on tiles. Okay, so let's move on to the another type of roof tiles, which is slate roof tiles. Um, so natural slate roof tiles are made from rock. They are known for their natural appearance and known for being very durable and for lasting for a long amount of time. It comes in very different colors and textures, and the color depends on the mineral content, and its color can range from black to gray to purple to red to rose color slate. They are installed differently depending on the slate type that you use for the roofing of the construction house. As you will see now, I will show you the different type of colors of slate roof tiles. In this one, we have a black slate. This one will be a greenish. This will be the gray in the situation. This will be gray roofing tiles. And there will be some of the colors that I previously mentioned. Let's move on to the advantage of tile roofings. So tile roofing. So let's talk about the first component, which is that it's durable. So when the tile roofings are installed correctly, the roofing can support can support hail stones that are like bigger than 2 inches, which is very good. And when it comes to the amount of time that it can last, is that some tiles could last to 100 years or even more, depending on how they're used and where they're installed. Because, for example, a clay tile that's installed in an environment where it rains and that it will kind of be destroyed easily than in a location um where clay is not exposed to that kind of weathering system. Um, in addition to this, um, they're also fireproof, in which clay and concrete tires are characterized as Class A, and the fire rating, which Class A is one of the highest fire ratings, and which shows that this will be very beneficial when picking the tiles due to its high rating into fire resistance, which will decrease which will decrease constructions or houses that basically become that turn on fire due to some small installations of that, but this is good advantage. So let's talk about another factor into the advantages of tile roofing, which is that it is very resistant to high wind speeds. It can withstand 150 mph or even greater and winds, which is very beneficial when using this type of roofings. Okay, let's move on to the disadvantages. So the disadvantages about roof tiles is that they are extremely heavy, in which they also may require more and stronger structural reinforcements, which means that more money will be required in order to support these kind of styles due to more reinforcement materials needed into the construction. Um, For example, the clay tiles could weigh up to 850 pounds per square foot, and while concrete tiles could weigh up to 950 pounds per square foot, which is actually a great amount, a very heavy amount of weight in the roof system that will basically require this kind of reinforcement structural formula, because if not, then it will the roof system will collapse not due to not having the correct amount of reinforcements under the deck. So we could talk now. Let's move on how tiles are installated. This is a general way in how it's installated. It's not like in deep, because there is different specifications when different style tiles are basically installated. But this would be one of the brief advanced installation systems that will be in general. But I will definitely be missing some of the details because I did not specify a specific tile roofing. So the process begins with installation of the girding and defensive borders, and when the tiles arrive to the work site, right? So once this happens, guardrails and warning signs are then installed to protect the people during the construction phase. After this, measurements are made and set out needles or hammered along the rafters to hold the bends. Um, After this, the layer of shirking is laid down over the set out nails, and this is very in which in the I'm sorry, in which this is very good because for your installation it occurs here, and vapor barriers also are basically installed. After the process of doing this, the beadings are kneaded over the sharking. Then anti-folding boards is installed under the slacking of the edge of the roof, in which helps prevent water from going through the tiles. After the tires are laid across the roof and clipped in, tires at the edge are cut to make lines along the hips of the valley of the roof. So when this is done, the valley seals and then are placed under the tiles. So this would be a general installation on the tiles, on which I mentioned how um, on how it starts off with the installation and the fascia boards, and then we basically required installation of installations. We require vapor barriers. We also require shirting, which prevents water from going into the tiles, and so forward on. Okay, so let me see what I have next. So this will be the end of my video. um I hope that you learn about more about these different types of concrete styles, and the ones that you'll probably be selecting during constructions, and that will be the end of my video. I hope that you will enjoy. Thank you.